Pope Francis once again grabbed a lot of headlines today, announcing sweeping change to a centuries-old process in the Catholic Church. The Church does not allow divorce, but in order to remain a Catholic in good standing, Catholics who have been divorced have to apply for an annulment, and this can often be a long and confusing process. The changes the Pope announced would simplify it and make it less expensive for people. So in order to talk about what this means, why it's important, we're joined by Father Jim Bretzke, who is a Jesuit and theologian scholar from Boston College, who joins us this evening. Thank you, Father. So,
my pleasure.
Explain for all of us, what exactly did the Pope announce today? Okay,
so what he announced was that the annulment, which is a finding that one or more of the key criteria for a valid sacramental marriage was missing. That process of discovery and adjudication, he streamlined it considerably. One of the things that he did was he got rid of what is called the court of second instance. So if Bob and Carol apply for an annulment and the petition is granted, the whole case has to be sent over to a neighboring diocese to be reviewed. And he got rid of that, so that's going to cut in half the time and the effort. The other thing that he did was he said that the judges could be just one person. It could be the bishop himself, of course, or a priest that the bishop appoints, or it could still be a three-person panel. There has to be at least one priest on it, but it could be two lay people. So that was the second thing he did. And the third thing that he did was he said that the fees that are associated with it have to now be borne by the diocese as a regular operating cost. Just like when you go to church, you don't pay to go to communion. So if you want to apply for an annulment, it's going to work in the same way.
Why is this significant? You have so many people who are seeking annulments.
Well, I think there are three myths about annulments that we've been wrestling with over the years. One is virtually impossible to get. The second one is very, very, very expensive. And third one is it takes forever. Today's decision really will cut out those three myths, because it's not going to be expensive. He's streamlined the process. You could get an annulment now in the target range is like 45 days.
As opposed to several years.
As opposed to several years.
As the Pope prepares to come here in 2 weeks, what do you think his message to the U.S. will be?
Well, I think, this is his very first time to come to the United States. And I think he's probably changed over the years in his understanding of the United States. I think many people from Latin America, I studied with many of them in Rome, I think they look on the United States as almost like the great Satan, that we can be so imperialistic and what have you. I think the Pope now sees the U.S. as a real change agent, a source for real comprehensive change in the world, and he wants to capitalize on that. So I think he's going to come with a message of peace and understanding and hope, and he wants us to be on board.
And just a very quick answer to this one, a few words. There's a conservative revolt within the Vatican. Do they have power to take away Francis's power?
No, the Pope is the supreme legislator in the Church. He's above canon law, so he has full power to change canon law. No conservative can say credibly the Pope overstepped his authority.
It's going to be fascinating to see him come to this country for the very first time. Father Jim Bretzke, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.